Evening. We are going to call this board meeting to order. Just as a reminder, this meeting is recorded and live streamed. For the past hour, our board has been in closed session, and we did take action while in closed session. This evening, the board unanimously approved the appointment of John Lovell as the new assistant principal at Pleasant Valley High School. Yeah. Welcome. We're happy you're here. Thank you. All right, at this time, if everyone would please stand for the flag salute. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, at this time, I'm going to ask Greg Blake to introduce our student reports.
All right, we are excited tonight to have Marigold Elementary School is front and center, and Shawnee's Heath, where she is. All right, I'm going to leave it to you from here on out.
I hope my mic is a little better than you.
Glad to have you.
You got the bum mic. I'm sorry. Hello, board members. I'm so excited to share with you some great things about Marigold. Over the past 4 years, Marigold Musical Theater has performed for over 3,000 community members, as well as hosting special assemblies for more than 800 students and averaging 35 cast members per production each winter. We have a short presentation prepared for all of you today to explain the vital importance of this program. And I just want to add in, all of these people have built in something really special and unique at Marigold, countless hours that all of these adults and volunteers have put forward to help the students to grow. And they find the skills in the students and develop them into something that even their own parents haven't seen before. It's beautiful and wonderful. And I can't emphasize enough, if you have a chance to come to the presentation to our musical this year, you will not be disappointed. So to start us off, I'd like to welcome Maddie Story, a 3-year student performer and a first-year junior director, an alumni from Marigold. Come on up.
Hi everyone, my name is Maddie and I'm in 7th grade at Bidwell Junior High, and today I will be talking about my experience over the last 4 years in the productions of Marigold musicals. When I was in 3rd grade, I auditioned for the lead in a show, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Instead of getting the role of Sally Brown, I got a smaller role in the show. I was disappointed, but I stuck with it and I was taught many strategies that I then used the next year. We focused on building and understanding the emotions and facial expressions of the characters we were to play. I was determined to do my best with the part I had, even if it wasn't the one I wanted initially. I loved the experience so much, made friends in all grade levels, and one of the best parts was how we became like a little family for those months of rehearsals. I decided to continue and had the honor of playing the character Mary Poppins when I was in 4th grade and Captain Hook when I was in 5th. I remember before we even finished up the production of Peter Pan, I had already asked the directors if I could come back next year to help out. Last year, during my 6th grade year at Bidwell, I was fortunate enough to serve the next generation of Marigold theater students. I worked as a student director in the production of Oz, further developing theater skills and leadership from the amazing staff. Being in musical theater during elementary school has taught me skills for confidently speaking in front of large audiences and giving me an outlet for singing and dancing. Being a part of these productions has been a blessing, and I have enjoyed every moment of it. I thank all of the directors for everything that they have done for each of these productions, and I look forward to being a part of them and watching them for years to come. And now please welcome Ashton Denley, mom of several actresses, to share her parent experiences with the program.
Hi, thank you for letting me speak. My name is Ashton Denley, and I'm here tonight as both a parent and someone who's had the privilege of watching firsthand the incredible impact our school musical has had on our children. When we think about education, we often focus on academics, and understandably so, but some of the most important lessons our children learn don't come from a textbook. They come from experiences that teach them confidence, perseverance, responsibility, dedication, and the courage to do something that scares them. For my family in particular, I've been able to see the growth in two very different children. My oldest daughter was diagnosed on the autism spectrum as a young toddler. Like many children on the spectrum, navigating these new environments, social situations, changes in routine, and overwhelming moments has required her to develop skills that may come more naturally to other children. Watching her participate in the school musical has been incredibly meaningful for me. At 9 years old, she took on a role with her own lines, something that required her to not only memorize and perform, but to manage the emotions and stimulation that come from rehearsals, costumes, a busy backstage, bright lights, and performing in front of an audience. Through this experience, I've watched her develop confidence, friendships, independence, and effective coping skills that she didn't have before. She has learned how to work through moments when she feels overwhelmed, adapt when things don't go exactly as planned, which is a nightmare for her, and communicate with others, continue to move forward as part of the team. Those are skills that extend far beyond a stage. They are skills that she will carry into classroom friendships and eventually into adulthood. And as her mom, watching her confidently stand on that stage and deliver her lines was about so much more than watching my daughter perform in a school play. It was watching her prove to herself what she is capable of. My youngest daughter, very, very different, had a different experience, but one that was equally as special. She's only 7 years old currently, and during her first production, she took on 3 different roles. She is tiny, arguably close to a kindergartner size as a 3rd grader. This little 7-year-old standing on a stage that probably looked enormous to her, but somehow she walked out there with confidence. She is very confident. She learned her parts, changed between roles, worked alongside other students, and stood in front of an audience without letting her size or her age determine what she was capable of doing. Watching someone so little as her walk onto a big stage with that much confidence was one of those moments as a parent that you will never forget. And what makes this program so special, this is what makes that program so special. And my daughters are only 2 small examples. When you watch these children perform, you're watching kids discover abilities they may not have known they had. You see quiet children find their voices. You see friendships form between students that would have never interacted. You see children with different personalities, abilities, strengths, and challenges find a place where they finally belong. They learn that every role matters and an entire production succeeds only when everyone works together, and those are incredibly important life skills. I also want to take a moment to recognize Mr. and Mrs. Morgan and the incredible team, a lot of which are here, that works alongside them. What our families see on the night of performance is only a small piece of what they poured into this. They don't simply direct the school play. They all build sets, create costumes, organize the production, encourage our children, and somehow turn this elementary school stage and transform it into an entirely different world. They give countless hours of their own time and bring an incredible amount of creativity, patience, and heart to these children. But I think that what matters even more is the environment that they create for our kids. Years from now, our children, especially mine, may not remember every worksheet they completed in the classroom, but they will remember the first time they stepped onto that stage, looked out at the audience, and realized that they can do this. And as a parent, I'm incredibly grateful that my daughter's been given this opportunity, and I'm so thankful for Mr. and Mrs. Morgan and our entire school. The arts are not simply an extra part of our education. They are a part of what helps turn our children into confident, capable, resilient, and connected young people. Thank you.
That's not fair. Now I get to talk after crying. Ashton is also our PTA president this year, so she's also pouring her heart and soul into the school. We're so grateful for that. So we have a video to show you a few clips of our productions and some great things the program has purchased for the school from the proceeds. So they've also given back to the school.
Time. Yeah, it's supper time. to the my trade. Kick your knees up, step in time. Kick your knees up, step in time. Never need a reason, never run. Kick your knees up, step in time. Think lovely thoughts. I'm flying, 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 flying. I won't grow up. I won't grow up. Captain Hook. And Kansas, she says, is the name of the star. Kansas, she says, is the name of the star. Give the back to me. Give the back. I can while away the hours, convert with the flowers. Could be kind of human if I only had a heart. We're off to see the winter, the wonderful winter.
We'd also like to invite Sailor Reed up to sing a song from Wizard of Oz. She's an alumni from Marigold. Come on up, Sailor.
Somewhere over the rainbow, up high, the land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies of blue. And the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me. Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you found me. Somewhere over the rainbow, blue birds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. I don't know why can't I? Happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow. Wild days.
All right. You guys are intimidating, I think. Okay. I'd also like to end by pointing out that this team started with the Morgans. And I'm going to ask each of them to come up because I have a little gift for them. Phil Morgan is our producer. Come on up. And his wife, who is a teacher at our school, Trish Morgan, is one of our directors. Their daughter, Bethany Gonzalez, is our music director. And their daughter-in-law, Hannah Morgan, is our artistic director. And then they've recruited a dear friend in our IT aide, Darren Clark, who has a great musical background. And then our costume director and kindergarten teacher, we have Crystal Proctor. And then, of course, they've trained up Maddie Story. And I have a gift for each of you. So. All right, my turn again. Next, I would like to recognize two of our amazing employees. When Margie Starkey, the assistant principal, and I sat down last spring to talk about who we could recognize for this board meeting, we immediately thought of the same two people. So can I have Karen Atwood and Kelly Baker come up? Melinda McCauley, do you mind bringing that bag up too toward the end? Okay, so we have gifts for you. You can stand next to me. We have flowers for you. Maybe it'll give you something to hold. Oh, wait, I have this little thing. That might make it better. All right. Beautiful for you. Okay, so Kelly, right here, the taller one, she is a dedicated instructional assistant and school aide that we lean on to keep our school functional. She's been at Marigold for many, many years, I think about 15 as a parent, and then hired on as a parent aide 12 years ago. So almost as long, I've been there 14 years. She started as a parent before I even got there. She always has a friendly smile. She's very patient, positive attitude, and a safe person to many kids. This is too hard. I know I'm starting too early. She's a consistent, friendly face that keeps the cars flowing at pickup after school and safely and joyfully send the kids off each day. She's also very humble. Karen is our education specialist for our TK through fifth grade students with mild to moderate needs, but she's been with Marigold longer than I have, with her children attending. All of her kids have gone to Marigold. She served as a parent aide before going back to school to get her teaching degree. She's now pursuing an administrative degree so she can make an even greater impact as a district leader. Like Kelly, one of the most patient people I know, last year, several people recommended her for awards, and I saw one memorable comment on repeat that she goes above and beyond. Very true. She's calm, hardworking, student-focused, great at building relationships, organized, detail-oriented, and great at problem-solving and planning ahead. She is well-loved by students and families, and she is a dear friend to many, and humble. I would like to invite Morgan Orozco to come up. I brought tissues for you. Yeah, no, would you like to? I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure she would need to. Okay.
Hi, I'm Morgan Orozco, and I really hate public speaking. So this is a testament to how much I love and respect these two women, and how incredibly deserving you are of being recognized tonight. And I'm already crying because they mean so much to us. I could give you 100 reasons why Karen and Kelly deserve to be honored tonight, but I think the most important thing I can offer is the perspective of a parent whose child was with them in their classroom. I knew Karen and Kelly when I came to Marigold, but only on surface level. And over the past 4 years, they have become the glue that kept us making it through the school and surviving our elementary school years with our daughter. And leaving them for middle school has been really hard. Sorry, this is hard. There are so many things educators give that go far beyond teaching, and these ladies really do it all. They have shared the ups and downs with us, believed in the same possibilities for our daughters that we did, celebrated every win, and stood beside us in the hard moments. We moved our daughter Dan into Marigold right before her second grade year. It was a move that I questioned endlessly before making it, and honestly, for the first few months, I questioned it every day. And I'm sure there were days and weeks where Karen and Kelly also questioned my decision. When they made the move, I remember telling everyone that it takes time with Dan in, time for her to trust, time for her to connect, and time for her to let people see the incredible person she is. And I remember thinking, please, please let them see my girl. Let them love her. Please see beyond the hard days. Please see the funny, smart, determined, and absolutely wonderful person she is. Please see her possibilities. And they did. They figured out what made Anna want to learn. And they met her there. They became experts on tornadoes, axolotls, deadly animals, rocks and minerals, and even every fear and phobia, because these were the things that sparked her interest and gave them a way to connect with her. They stayed beside the many, many times that Dannon tried to fire them. They stayed, they accepted her, they believed in her, and they loved her. Because of them, Dannon grew more over the last 4 years than I could have imagined when we first walked into room 22. They love my child so completely and helped shape so much of who she's becoming. They didn't just support Dannon. They walked beside me through 4 years of mothering this girl. They told me I was doing a good job on the days I really needed to hear it. They had my back when I needed to advocate for her. They celebrated the wins with me and were some of the few who really understood how some of the little victories are really big. That's the part of special education that doesn't show up in the job description. It's not just the IEPs, the goals, the assessments. They're not just teaching a child. You become part of their team. You become part of their family. You see the possibilities on the days things are hard. And sometimes, if you're really lucky, you become part of that child's story forever. Karen and Kelly have done that for Dannon. Taking a chance on Marigold and their team was one of the best decisions that we ever made. And it's because of these two women. Karen and Kelly, thank you for seeing our girl. Thank you for believing in her. Thank you for loving her so well. Thank you for becoming such an important part of our family. And whether you like it or not, thank you for becoming part of Team Danado forever. And then Dannon had just wanted to say how much she loves you, that thank you for being her teacher, and blah, la, la. So thank you guys.
All right. There's your well-deserved award. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. And John's gonna.
Oh, great.
Hold on, let me see if I can work something out.
I'm in there too. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, oh yeah, give me more of them. Can you zoom in right here?
I know.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. All right, we have Joe Morris. Come on up. Director of MOT.
Hi, everybody. I'm the Director of Maintenance Operations, Joe Morris. This is Mike Catron. He's the custodial supervisor for my department. So we would like to ask up here, Will Lawrence and Amber Matthews, if you'd come up, please. So I will present first. Come on, right here. You're good. Will Lawrence is a general maintenance worker for us here with the district. Will is a dedicated and dependable general maintenance worker who consistently goes above and beyond to support our school staff and students. He is our go-to guy for fencing, which is a very nice thing to have. I'll tell you that. If he has a post, a gate, a section of fence that needs to be repaired, he's our man. He's always wanting to, his willingness to jump in, help out in not just the fencing world, but the M&O world, which is a very hectic place all the time. I will say that. His attitude of being nice to others and to his coworkers, gets along with every single one of them. I can't tell you how happy I am to have Will as part of our department. So I personally am going to be presenting for Will, and for Amber Matthews, I'm going to have Mike Catron come up.
All right, thank you. So Chico Unified School District has so many amazing people, people that make our days a little brighter, our jobs a little easier, and our sites a little safer. I am fortunate to have the opportunity to recognize two of those people tonight. Amber Matthews has been helping students and staff for the district for almost 13 years. She moved to maintenance and operations from nutrition services in 2023 and immediately proved herself as a hardworking, reliable, detail-oriented evening custodian. Amber's personality and work ethic made her a perfect fit to fill a long-term position at her site. And as expected, she excelled at that role and showed us that she was ready for more. At the end of 2025-26 school year, we had a position opening for senior custodian, and although there was a great group of applicants, Amber was the best fit. Fortunately, she accepted the position, and she's now the senior custodian at Marigold, which is shining today. Yes. So we are very delighted to present Will and Amber with the Superintendent's Award and look forward to them brightening our days and keeping our sites safe and clean. Thank you.
You know, well, you gotta take a picture.
Oh.
You gotta cry. The big group picture. Well, everybody's taller than me. You don't have
All right, at this time, Kelly Searle is coming up to announce some other awards.
Thanks, Greg. Well, good evening, President Conkin, CUSD School Board and District Leadership. I'm Kelly Searle here on behalf of CSEA Chico 110. This last year, we have had great things happen with CUSD classified employees. And today we would like to honor the leader of all classified employees. Mike Allen, will you please come stand with us? Mike took over in 2023 as the Executive Director of Classified HR. From the first day in his new position, Mike made it clear that making things better for all classified employees would help students and has worked with us every step of the way to make that happen. We've added additional training that was desperately needed, and the Classified HR office is welcoming to all staff. There are more great things to come. We're in awe of the unique partnership we have with CUSD leadership. Let me see if I read this one. Mike, your leadership and willingness to help classified employees is felt throughout the district. We have employees who share their stories of your compassion and willingness to listen to them. Your ability to help CSEA navigate our struggles and find solutions that work is a true reflection of your dedication. It isn't always pretty. However, we always find a way to a resolution. I am so grateful for your support and the partnership we have developed. Together, we are stronger. Mike, on behalf of CSEA Chico 110, we are excited to recognize you as an honorary CSEA member. We appreciate all that you do. CUSD and CSA are lucky to have your support and the classified employees. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Oh,
Surprise.
Thank you. Surprise. Wow.
Surprise.
Oh my God.
I didn't even tell your son today. I know.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. At this time, we're going to move on to items from the floor. Items from the floor is an opportunity for speakers who wish to address the board regarding a topic that is not on the agenda. So at this time, we're going to take public comment from speakers who wish to address the board. As a reminder, speakers will have 3 minutes. A buzzer will sound when 30 seconds of speaking time remains. The board can listen to public comment, but cannot respond to any speakers under items from the floor. So we do have 2 speakers that did submit their name to speak. So at this time, is Ed Rona here? Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Ed Rona from the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 1555 here in Chico. And I've had the privilege of speaking to you in the past about our educational programs. With me tonight is Mary Wall from the VFW Post 1555 Auxiliary, and we are the co-chairs of the VFW education-related programs. VFW has 3 education-related programs. Patriots Pen and Voice of Democracy are essay programs for junior high and high school students, and Teacher of the Year is for teachers in grades K through 12. All of these are competitive and all carry with them some monetary awards for the winners. In a brief overview, Patriots Pen is for junior high level students who present a 300 to 400 word essay on a patriotic theme. This year, what that theme is, What a Veteran Taught Me About America. They compete for local awards, but more importantly, they compete for a national award of $5,000. This past year, we had 17 entries from the junior high programs throughout Chico, the top 3 finishers coming from Notre Dame School. Voice of Democracy is is for high school students who present a 3 to 5 minute essay on a patriotic theme. Again, this year, it is What a Veteran Taught Me About America. These students also compete for awards at the post and district levels. The main goal is a national award of $35,000 scholarship, with additional awards of $1,000 to $21,000 at that level. This year, we had 15 entries from our local high school programs, with the top 3 winners coming from PV High. The essays for both programs can be submitted through the Scholars app online entry form. It is a site that offers many different scholarships for students. And the 2 essay programs are judged by community members who are not involved with the VFW or the auxiliary. Our final education-related program is our Public Service Recognition Program, Teacher of the Year. It's a nomination program for 3 levels, K-5, 6-8, and 9-12. We awarded a teacher at the 9-12 level this year, Casey Van Masses from Chico High, who also won at our district. Winning teachers at the local and district level compete for a $500 award at the state level and a $1,000 award at the national level. And winners at the national level also have the schools get the same amount. We'll be delivering information to all of the schools, the junior highs, the high schools throughout our area. That includes Durham, and it includes all of the charter, parochial, you name it, all the schools. So we're getting the word out as much as we can. And we're going to be sending information out to the social science teachers and the English teachers as well at the junior high and high school levels. So that's it.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. At this time, is Carl Oshner.
And delighted to see Ed here. He and I go way back quite a few years. Thank you very much for giving me a few minutes to talk to you about the Industry for Education group. I'm coming to you tonight in my role as a board member with Industry of Education, was started a few years back by Norm Nielsen with Chico Electric and some other folks, now contains board members from as far afield as New Zealand. And what we're primarily concerned with is finding ways to help young people explore all of their educational and vocational options, especially those overlooked lucrative pathways in the skilled trades. Some of you may already be familiar with the work we've done assisting students at Paradise High School, Achieve Charter, Fairview, Sherwood Montessori, and other schools in Chico, Gridley, Orland, and Corning. And our reach may soon extend beyond the North Valley as other areas seek to clone the efforts we're making to help kids link learning to vocational success. So what primary reason I'm here tonight is because a big project we've been working on for the past couple of years is creating a book professionally written by Norm Nielsen and Mark Powers in conjunction with an author, editor who knows how to shape things so that they have appeal to 9th, 10th, 11th grade kids. And it's called Flip the Script. It's an engaging little novel geared to middle and early high school reading levels. And it follows a boy and girl, Kay and Zoe. They have vastly different personalities and aspirations, and these provide an enormous amount of the humor and the interest to be found in the book. And just one way to employ this little book is to have students read chapters in common, have discussions, and there are discussion questions included. And I've already given a copy to Tiffany Herringer, dropped it off a couple days ago. It's also available via Amazon, and I'm currently approaching a local bookstore here where parents, staff members, teachers can pick up a copy if they'd like. We certainly have every intention to make these available in as most cost-effective a way as possible. So what I'm going to do is I brought 3 copies with me. I'm just going to leave them here. How about, John, at the end of your desk? And you can pass them around and just know that they are coming your way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any other members of the community that would like to speak on items that are not on the agenda? Yes. Okay, we're going to be moving on to the consent calendar. Are there any questions by the board for clarification purposes? Is there any board members who would like to pull a consent item for further discussion? All right. Do we have a motion?
I'll motion approval of the consent calendar.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Vice President Olson and a second by Member Hayes. Any board discussion at this time? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. Can we start with you, Member Robinson?
Robinson, I.
Olson, aye.
Conkin, aye.
Hayes, I.
Lando, I.
All right, thank you. This is, passes unanimously. We're going to be moving on. To our discussion action calendar. At this time, I'm going to ask Tina Keen to come forward. This is informational. This is going to be an update on our opening day for our new school year.
Hello, I will invite the Ed Services team to be in the background here if they want to chime in on anything that we are presenting tonight. But we are thrilled to have launched the 26-27 school year. And I wanted to give you a glimpse of some of the exciting things that have happened across town over the last actually several months. Believe it or not, starting of the school does not mean the first day of school when all the students show up. It's the prep for those students. It's the cleaning, it's the training. You've heard some of those things being talked about already tonight. So I invite you all to sit back and enjoy the presentation. Tonight, we'll look at some of the summer programming that we offered this summer, professional development for certificated, classified, and management. We have some enrollment numbers that have come in from last week. Co and extracurricular participation information and numbers of students that are participating in some things already, and some school construction photos that are really exciting to see. So welcome back, as the picture says there. Summer programming, we had elementary from TK to grade 12 participating. We have our June summer camp. You can see the amount of students there, over almost 2,000 students, 4 weeks. They started right after school ended last year. So they went through the month of June right up until almost the weekend of the 4th of July. And then we also host an early back camp, again for TK through 6th graders for a week, and you'll see the numbers there. They have lots of activities that they enjoy. And with that as well, our extended school year summer programming from our pre-kinder to adult students. We have almost 300 that participated this year. And it's a wonderful melding of all of our students to enjoy fun activities that have gone on all summer long. Field trips and animals coming in and magicians and all kinds of fun things that kids have enjoyed all over our town, every one of our students available to see that. We did have Margie, you heard the name Margie Starkey earlier. She oversaw all of that programming and had a wonderful time doing that, and really reports some great things going on along with Callan Kwok Hennessy and the after school programming. Secondary level was geared more toward credit recovery and junior high school numbers there. And then, of course, 6th graders are welcomed in as an early back to come visit their junior high that they will be attending. So it is a little less daunting the first day of school when they step on that big campus for the first time. We launched into professional development at the beginning of August. We had Leadership Advance, which is all of the leadership team here in Chico Unified on the 4th of August. We hosted new teacher training. We had a little over 70 new certificated staff join us this year. So there were a couple days of that, including the new teacher training on the 5th. The elementary came back to learn more about literacy programming and curriculum that we offer here in Chico Unified. We had our collective group of all of our education specialists and ESN teachers, including our new teachers. That was quite impressive to walk into the multipurpose room there at McManus. It was a full building of wonderful, wonderful expertise in teaching, and just a delight to visit with those folks. We also offered a drop-in curriculum support time for all of our special education teachers on the 7th. The list goes on, and you see some pictures here of folks involved in more training, as in the slide previously. We collaborated with Kelly and the CSCA group. Jen Scala was really our point person for training with Kelly on that. It was the first annual classified conference style. It was an optional professional development offered on the 10th of August. Over 120 attendees-ish attended. It was, again, a conference style, so there were presentations that moved throughout the day at different locations, about an hour, a little over an hour in length. Things offered were de-escalation, techniques. There were things offered with CPI training for safe student management. Avoiding burnout, Para 101, really wonderfully received by all of the staff that attended. Continuing on, everybody, all certificated and classified, got to see our keynote speaker this year, a gentleman named Keith Hawkins. His message was, when somebody asks you how things are and we say good, he says, you say better than good. So his message was very inspiring. It was really meant with bringing joy to the workplace. On the 11th, we had our kickoff day for all certificated to come back. That's the day he spoke there as well. That afternoon, CSEA also had a chance to come in optionally at the end, as it's not one of their duty days yet. They had that duty day the next day with more training on that end. So some great pictures there of staff and locations. Tim put together the enrollment comparison. We have this every year in this presentation, just so you can see where we fall. We go up and down a little bit with this the first couple of weeks of school, but the numbers are fairly close, within 100. Tim's not too worried about anything, as that is kind of typical of what we see. Our students got back into the swing of things well before school started as well. Our ASB hosted web, they hosted Link Crew. You see Bidwell is featured here in this photograph. Last year I believe we had Marsh's photo. So we tried to go around town and get them all in here. High school fall athletics is also underway. I have it on a good report that the Chico High Volleyball is currently playing right now. So they are literally happening as we're speaking. We have about 940 total participants going on through all of our fall sporting events. School construction, if you have driven around town, you'll see it's another busy summer here. Citrus Elementary leads off our slideshow. They have had quite a lot of digging. In fact, I was there the first day of school. I don't know if she's still here, Miss Payne. Miss Payne is still here. She said, oh my gosh, my heart was pounding. I didn't know if the asphalt would be done on the playground before the first day of school, and it was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful lines out, and kids were happy, and it looked great. So Citrus is undergoing quite a big project. If you haven't driven by there, go by there. I know one of our board members lives in the neighborhood, big new building going up, lots of excitement. Across town, Marigold has a new TK building that's almost done. It's getting there. It's beautiful. It's there on the left, and in the middle, you see the aerial spot. That's a great picture. I love that picture. That sits right on the corner there. It's going to be a really nice building. I also want to point out that Marigold is really proud to have reconfigured that swing area to allow for accessibility for all of their students to be able to enjoy the swings. And that's a spot just right located in front of that TK building. On the right is one photo. There are several photos of the new Building D going up there at Pleasant Valley High School. I happen to like that because I just think it's a really cool picture. Continuing on in pockets here, I'll go through the photos so you know the places if you're not familiar with them. On the top left is the office building, office area in Chico High. When you walk in, it used to be kind of a small closed-in area. Not all of their office staff could sit together. And again, it's an old site. We know that, but they were able to do some magic there and collectively bring in all of their office people together by pushing the wall back. Looks great, and I know they're really happy to be in close proximity to work together. The middle picture is Inspire, which had its grand opening last week. Beautiful campus. Down below on the bottom left, new student restrooms at Chico Junior High School. We all hear, and rightly so, wonderings about the student bathrooms and when they're going to be updated and redone. And our team has really been working hard on a lot of that. That's a really nice spot there. Emma Wilson has a brand new kindergarten TK area. That's the playground there in the middle. They also had a ribbon cutting last week. It's lovely. Very happy, colorful place for kids to play. And Little Chico Creek is on the right side here, both of these. They've got some beautiful new modern signage on the school, and one of their new classrooms in their TK building is right below it. And again, lovely and clean and happy places. More bathrooms because we want to see them. Chapman is there on the left with the blue floors. We have renovated student restrooms. Those three, there's the entrance in and then the inside there. They are really, really great, clean, really nice looking. And Parkview is on the right with some student restrooms. Again, cleaned up, really nice looking. And I don't want to say a bathroom's a happy place, but it's a lovely place to be. And then some staff, it's all truly about the people in our buildings. It's about our students, it's about our staff, it's about our families that come in. And here are just some very few examples. One of my favorite things to do at the beginning of the year is to see all the pictures that people share of their kids' first days back, teachers' first days back, staff's first days back. And these are just a small sampling of all those that we've all enjoyed. And that's truly, those are the folks that make up our buildings to be so happy. Big appreciation. This may be one of the most important slides in this whole presentation at the end here. And a friend of mine says, I don't need to read everything to you, but I do want to read and make sure that all of these folks are acknowledged for their hard work. We have much appreciation to all of our divisions that worked all through the summer. Nutrition services continued to feed students and staff. Summer programs, an extended school year, continued to host great things for kids, happy times for kids and keeping them busy this summer. Loma Vista Early Learning Center kept continuing on. They never stop. They go the whole time, the whole way through, and those littles are just having a great time. Maintenance and operations, you heard Joe talk a little bit earlier, they never stop. And summertime is when they try to get in and do things that they can do that are easier when kids are not as many kids as are not around. However, as I've mentioned, we have had a lot of kids on our sites this summer. So they've been working magic and very patient. We appreciate that. The IT department has also helped make sure that people have what they need for trainings and such. The facilities team, all that school construction, they are just really rocking and rolling and doing some great stuff on our campuses that are appreciated. And all of our team there that works collectively in the district office to make sure everybody gets what they need on sites, moving out, and staff as well. So we are looking forward to a great year. It's already off to a great start, and just welcome back students and families and staff. I do want to add one thing. Heather Cifuentes is going to come up real quick. Last year, the board updated a board policy and about not taking Chromebooks home for this next elementary kids, not taking them home. So Heather's just going to give you a quick update on where we are with that.
Good evening. So as we've dove into the 26-27 school year, we've been working on really focusing on an intentional shift in how we approach our classroom technology. After the board policy was updated last spring, our team started to have discussions to really start to evaluate how we're using devices across our campus. We used the lens of the 4 quadrants of technology, looking at the difference between transformative, supportive, disruptive, and restrictive as a lens for starting to identify different categories of where things fit. We've had some great discussions with staff to kind of build knowledge, gather input, and collaboration as to how we continue to shift. As we started this year, we've kept the conversations going, and we're really committed to ensuring that we provide a balanced approach and that when we are using technology, we're purposeful in our interaction with it. We've currently been working on scaling back the instances in which some of those disruptive categories fall into place and having conversations with our teams as to what we can replace those with in order to better engage our students. So a district-wide focus for us that Tina kind of hit on this kickoff was engagement. And so student engagement is our focus instructionally all the way through. And we started off with 3 instructional strategies that could be applied to any of our content areas and are really emphasizing student-to-student contact and discussion. In addition, where, like I mentioned, we've started the disruptive practices. So we've really taken a step back on ensuring that when Chromebooks are not used for reward purposes, what other rewards can we use instead? Getting a PE game, free time out on the playground, other ways to engage our students. During rainy day recess, we are bringing back, and there was claps on the campuses too, to bring back board games and drawing and art materials so that it's more of that creativity in place. We are thoughtfully working to create that balance. And again, it's shifting slowly, but our first part is really the easy, restrictive ones that we can replace with doing is our focus at this time. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions from the board? We do have a name. Someone, I'm sorry, did you?
It's not a question. I just
Okay.
wanted to thank Heather for bringing that update. It's great to hear that. I loved hearing that there were claps for board games and, creativity. That's awesome.
I would support that as well. I'm loving that big time.
Agreed. All right, we did have one public comment, an individual who submitted their name to speak at this time, Yolanda Solano. No? Okay. All right. Are there any other members in the public that would like to speak? Okay. All right. This was information only, so we don't need to take any action on this item. We're going to be moving to business services. I'd like to invite up Julie Kissel to give us a general facilities update at this time.
There you go. Joe and I are joining forces. He's going to give you an update on the maintenance projects that have occurred this summer, and then I'm going to follow up afterwards.
Okay, good evening. So just to kind of give you an update on what kind of summer we had, considering the Monday after school ended, we have not stopped. While everybody else was heading off to vacations, we were coming together to get every project done that we could possibly get done in a fairly short amount of time. For an example, a lot of the elementaries that had students on till 4th of July, we had probably less than about 30 days to clean and get every single school up and running, ready to go before early back happens. So that's a tribute to all the custodial staff to put their heads down, grind it out, and actually kind of take some vacations and not take them. So they're going to be taking some now. Well, and again, like I said, the maintenance department, just the whole year, the whole summer has been just a whirlwind. I can't tell you how quickly school came. And then all of a sudden we're back at school and now we're working around children again, which is not a bad thing. Just to kind of touch on some things, the Emma Wilson roofing project completed, no smells. Which it came together very, very, very quickly, fast, furious, without any kind of interruptions to the school. Chico Highs, which you have to put in perspective, admin, science, IT, walkways, all within a couple months. That project is basically the membrane of the roof, meaning that there's no, that everything, the roof is up. All we're doing now is putting up gutters, tying in loose ends, putting on the reflective that we're going to be doing to keep the heat out. That should be finished up the first week of September. They are still working, but they're working from 4 o'clock in the afternoon until 9 o'clock at night, so we do not interrupt the students on campus during school time. Happy to say that each and every school in the district has a filtered drinking fountain. You know, I was a little scared a couple times, but we were able to get that project done, and we're very happy that we're providing every student with the filtered drinking fountain. So that was a big project that we were doing that we wanted to get done. Other than that, we can go on, and I know we don't have enough time to talk about everything. We did a roofing project over at Little Chico Creek that's been needed for some time, which is going to save us time and money in the long run. It came together. We slurry sealed playgrounds, parking lots, repainted them, restriped them. They turned out amazing, which was, it kind of spruces up every school to kind of, when they come back to school and see all the fresh paint. So that's been a very big plus. I just want to thank all of my staff for countless hours and time and, you know, like I said, dedication to making all this stuff happen, and working with Julie's staff and working with IT. You know, all of us came together and worked together as a team to continually produce good things that are happening. So I will say this, we're close to having every single flagpole in Chico Unified is going to have a light on it. We're about 6 schools left, but it's hard when you're trying to get a lift at one school and then a lift over at another school. So it will be done. It will have that thing finished up and ready to go. So other than that, like I said, I could sit here and talk the whole time about the amount of work that the staff did. Amazing. Everybody came together and did a fantastic job. Is there any questions that you guys would like to ask? I will. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I just want to say that I'm so honored to get to work with Joe Morris. He's a great leader, and he's motivating. He happily gets people to work hard, and it's so nice. I'm going to update you on the facility side projects, which Tina gave you photographs of, so you already are aware. I'll probably give you more technical information. That's kind of boring, but I'll fill you in. Pleasant Valley High School, Building D, is now framed. Pretty intricate framing. You could see from the photographs, they don't frame buildings that way anymore. So we had to build it like it was constructed back in 1966. So I think even the carpenters were a little amazed by some of the details. So they're starting all of the utility rough-ins now, and rough-in means all the stuff that goes in the ground and behind the walls. So they're still on schedule to be completed for the spring semester of 27. Restroom projects. First of all, I want to mention Maria Campos and Evan Ulrichs are working on Pleasant Valley High School. And Evan also headed up the restroom projects this summer. He is one of our newest additions as a construction manager. He just turned 26 years old. Yeah, and he's doing an excellent job. And this is what he completed. So Chico Junior High School Gymnasium modified their restrooms, spruced them all up, and added a single-use restroom to that building. At Hooker Oak, modernized the staff and student restrooms. Not the main student restrooms at the ends of the wings, because they're actually in very, very good shape. But the staff restrooms have been in poor shape and not very functional for many years. So it was a pleasure to get to address those issues. So that restroom money coming from the bond dollars is really useful. And we also added a portable restroom building to Hooker Oak, and it's pushed over by the Kinder complex because they haven't had restrooms of their own for many years. So it's a great needed addition. Over at Marsh Junior High School, we added a single-use restroom to the library building. That way, when there's events in the library or in the gymnasium, there's a single-use restroom that can be opened on an outside door that's useful for students during the day and the public or spectators at night. And lastly, you saw the pictures of Parkview and Chapman. As you know, those two campuses are in our master plan to be completed in the near future. So we did a spruce up there. So they got all new fixtures, all new toilet partitions, and epoxy painting on the walls and the floors and new lighting. So they're really nice and clean. Let's see. Citrus is next. We had a very short duration to perform the work that needed to be done in one summer before the kids came back to school. We demolished and excavated and installed all new underground utilities serving the campus. So that's storm drains, sewer lines, power supply, and water. And that was a enormous undertaking, and Shannon is here with us tonight. Hopefully a testament that she's made it through that process okay. Yes. And we have really great contractors working on that who had the staff and the materials and everything ready to go. And so I'm really happy about the success of that. There's a lot more work to do there. We're still wrapping up finishing touches from the summer work, but we've also started framing the new TK building. So that will be ongoing throughout this school year, and then we'll be back next summer to modernize the existing building, which, as you know, is an old building, and that's going to be a delicate work as well. Okay, moving on to TK expansion. So Little Chico Creek is completed. In addition to the TK, we modernized their administrative office, added some safety and security features there, and a new playground. They're going to have a ribbon cutting on September 18th, which is a Friday. They're going to do it in the morning with their jogathon, so we have a built-in crowd, which we like. Emma Wilson is also completed. We had the ribbon cutting for that last week, and that was the addition of 2 classrooms to the complex that they already had, and then the large playground addition as well. And then Marigold is still underway, and it's scheduled to be completed mid-September, and we're working very closely with Ed Services about moving, the littles into it as soon as it's completed. And as Tina mentioned earlier, Inspire is been completed. We had an awesome ribbon cutting last week, and I'm very excited that now the Chico High campus is ready for modernization and the addition of new classrooms as soon as the funds become available, for that phase of the master plan. So things are working really well. I am incredibly excited about how all these projects went this summer. I think we have excellent staff. I know that, the folks in my department work really hard, and they made it look really easy, and they were pleasant, and they all get along, and it was just a really great summer. Thank you.
I think you're staying up here, right?
I am.
Okay.
Not done yet.
So right now, we're going to be talking about the agreement between Chico Unified School District and the City of Chico for Warner Street, West Sac Avenue.
Right. So staff was approached by a couple of city council members, first off, regarding the improvements that they wanted to see to the bikeway around Chico High School and the college on Warner. So they're applying for grants in order to make improvements. And they asked the district to participate, which is a normal situation. We share costs on things that are beneficial for traffic safety and pedestrian student safety. So with this agreement, the district is pledging $250,000 from our redevelopment funds, Fund 42, to be utilized if the grant is successful. Any questions?
Yeah, please. Oh, sorry. All right, in that case, all right, then I will. I just want to clarify what you said. So this is coming out of Fund 42. So this is not money that could be spent on day-to-day instructional or teacher salaries or anything like that. What are the strictures on Fund
Yes,
42?
that's an excellent question, Tom. Thanks for asking.
Okay.
So redevelopment funds are supposed to be geared toward improvements that affect the entire community. So we spend them on safety features like sidewalks and entryways to schools, those sorts of projects. So this is a good project for that use, but it cannot be used for anything else.
Thank you. And it is a good use of these funds. I love that West Sac is so narrow over there that it's always a little, gives me palpitations when I see a bunch of students over there right when school gets out. Anything we do to make that area safer is very much appreciated.
Julie, is there a cutoff timeline? I mean, I know they're applying for the grants and stuff, but what kind of timeline are we possibly looking at? Because that is such a mess.
Right. Well, we kind of are at the whim of the grant on the project because we need the extra funds. Chico State is donating and the city of Chico is donating a majority of the dollars. So we do need the matching funds to do the project. But it's important to the community, so I assume that they'll stick with it.
Is there a timeline for when the grant is due or that the grant is going to be granted or not?
I think they've actually already applied one time and didn't get it, and they're applying for the second time. So
I
it's
see.
a annual application, I believe.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any public comment? Okay.
I was just going to say also that for clarification, if they didn't get the grant, then we're not going to be contributing money for naught.
Correct.
Yeah, that it would be coming back to the district.
Yes, it won't actually leave the district. It'll be reserved, and then it would be invoiced by the city if it happens.
And then it's worth noting that the total cost of the project is estimated at like 13.7 million. So our portion is very small compared to the size of what they're trying to do.
Yes.
All right. This is an action item. So is there a board member that would like to make a motion?
So moved, yes.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right. We have a motion by member Lando and a second by member Hayes. Our last vote was unanimous. So let's all vote together. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. This passes. Okay. We are moving along. You again?
Me again.
Okay. So this also is a discussion action item. This is regarding resolution number 1737-26, authorizing an addendum to the Merriam Park Project Certified Environmental Impact Report for purposes of satisfying the California Environmental Quality Act for the Blue Oak Charter School New Campus Project. There's more, but I'll just let you take it from here.
Okay. That's a long title. So in order for Blue Oak Charter School to receive the Proposition 2 funds, the site that was purchased with bond dollars the district owns it, but Blue Oak will have a long-term facilities use agreement to operate there, must be approved by the California Department of Ed. And there's lots of ingredients that need to be submitted to the Department of Ed in order for that site approval to occur. And this CEQA document is a small piece of that. We are lucky because the land is within the Miriam Park development area. And they already did an environmental impact report for the entire site. So what we had to do was an amendment to that environmental impact report, which is all the documents that are attached to this agenda item. And I know that you read all of that because I tried to read it all and it's tough. However, the summary is that there are no additional impacts to the site because of the school. And the mitigation and monitoring requirements that are in the initial EIR have been incorporated into the plans for Blue Oak Charter School. So we are ensuring that all of those mitigations are being upheld during construction and the long-term operation of the school. So although it's a formality, it's a big deal to do a amendment to such a large EIR, but that's what you're looking at here, and I recommend approval.
Any questions from the board?
I don't know, Julie, have we gotten really lucky that we don't have to do the complete, is it CEQA impact on the Blue Oak project?
Yes, as I was saying, because Miriam Park already had done the environmental impact report for the entire property, the whole park, we were able to kind of jump on their bandwagon and just do this small amendment. And it is CEQA.
Yeah.
It's an amendment, CEQA amendment.
You know, anytime we get into a situation where CEQA has anything to do with property stuff, it always just makes me nervous.
Well, typically an environmental impact report takes at least 12 months to have it drafted and then publicly reviewed and commented and then a final report done. And that wouldn't have worked at all for Blue Oak's schedule. So we are very, very lucky.
Thank you.
Any public comment? All right, this is also an action item. Is there a board member that has a motion at this time?
Sure, I'll move that resolution number 173726 be approved.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion by member Hayes and a second by member Robinson. Any further discussion from the board? No. Okay, let's go ahead and vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, this also passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Okay, we are moving along to another discussion action item. This is resolution 1736-26, Northern California School Insurance Group amended bylaws. And I'm going to ask Jacqueline Kruger to join our discussion.
Speak to that this evening. So in front of you is a resolution that changes bylaws. So Chico Unified is a member of the Northern California Schools Insurance Group. We call it NCSIG. That's where we get our general and property liability insurance through. So they are looking to change the bylaws to increase membership at the board level for the really, really small counties and districts. So within the bylaws right now, if the ADA, as it states on page 4, if the member ADA is between 0 and 4,999, there's no representation. So the board decided for the really smalls, like Modoc County is included within this JPA, to change that so that from 500 to 4,999, they get one member representation. So it's to acknowledge that there's a lot of smalls within this group and that they too should have a voice at the table. So the bylaws say that 2/3 of all of our members have to have that resolution approved by their board. So I'm taking it to you this evening for approval, and then I will report back to the JPA that we are hopefully one of the 2/3.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Not a question, but I'm glad that you guys are recognizing that. I think it's really important because it's difficult when you feel like you're not being listened to, and they have very different needs sometimes than the larger school districts. So I think that's a nice thing.
Thank you.
Any public comment? Okay. This is also action. Is there a board member that would like to make a motion? Member,
Madam President, I move approval of Resolution 173626 for the Northern California School Insurance Group.
thank you.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by member Robinson and a second by member Lando. Any further board discussion? Okay, let's go ahead and vote together then. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, this also passes. Thank you. Okay, we're going to be moving on. Let's see here. Again, this is Jacqueline again. This is also discussion action regarding the Assembly Bill, the AB 2756 Public Disclosure Document for Compensation Agreement with CSEA Chapter 110.
So I'm happy to bring this forward this evening. This is the financial disclosure related to the very next agenda item that John Shepherd's going to speak to. But because the timing of, we entered into a 2-year wage agreement with our bargaining units for the teachers and the management and the non-represented, that was all approved in June. But because the timing of CSEA, their 27-28 financial impact is what's being reflected here, because we were able to have the board pass 26-27, so that's been implemented. So we are estimating a 3.36% increase at this point, with a financial impact of just over $1.6 million for CSEA. So disclosing that to show the financial impact of that, I'm asking for the board's approval, acknowledging the fiscal impact prior to the actual approval of the TA, which is what John will speak to next.
So just to clarify, the 1.674 million is the total increase in our spend towards CSEA.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And for clarity, the 3.36% is added to the salary schedule, and it is added to the district's contribution towards medical.
And that's the same amount that everybody else got.
Yes, very important. It's the
Yeah.
same as everyone else. Yes.
Good questions. Any public comment? Okay. Do we have a motion at this time?
All motion to approve.
Seconded.
We have a motion by Vice President Olson, second by member Lando. Any further discussion? All right, let's go ahead and vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you guys. This also passes. We are moving along to human resources. Again, a discussion action item. This is regarding CSEA Chapter 110 and Chico Unified School District tentative agreement for the 27-28 fiscal year presented by John Shepherd.
Thank you, President Conkin. As Jacqueline mentioned, we are excited. Kelly Searle and her team worked really hard this summer to ensure that we're working almost in lockstep with each bargaining unit to be sure that we're having consistent conversations. And as a result of that collaboration, in front of you is a recommendation for approval of the second half of the tentative agreement related to 27-28. There are two components to this TA. One is the estimated compensation of 3.36, but as importantly to us is the term shift to be sure that when we're negotiating different during different cycles that we're negotiating during similar terms. CSEA has had in the past few cycles of negotiation an offset of their term. It's been a different year end than CUTA. And so Kelly and her team worked hard to work with the state level CSEA to ensure that we align those term ends. And I think that was the first time in my experience we've ever actually negotiated in July. So she was able to muster her team together and we made it work.
All right, any questions? Any public comment? All right. You have a motion at this time?
Sure, I will move approval of the tentative agreement 2728 with CSEA Chapter 110.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by member Lando and a second by member Hayes. Any further discussion from the board? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. This passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're moving along to 9D. This is also discussion action. We're going to be going over the first draft of our board goals for the 26-27 school year.
I think that's me.
That's you?
Yeah, it doesn't say so, but it is.
Okay.
Okay, so, so the school board did, each individual did a self-evaluation. I don't have my dates right, but we did a self-evaluation. Then we came together at a special board meeting and we looked at their results and areas of strengths and areas that we could look to improve upon. And we came up with three separate areas that we thought would be a good focus for this next coming year. No? Okay. And so this is a draft. I got together with Superintendent Blake, and I think that I was the chosen one because I taught special ed, so I could write goals and objectives. Anyway, so we got together and we came up with a draft, and then I went home and kind of cleaned it up a little. So this is our opportunity as a board to look at the draft, to have a discussion, and then I think putting it on a future agenda. Is that correct? For final approval? Or is either? Okay. Yeah, so I think through our discussion, we can determine if it's something that we want to go ahead and solidify now or something that we need to move to a future agenda.
Could we post the draft up on the big screen so that people can see what we're talking about? Thanks so much. There it is.
There we go.
So I wanted to thank Gail and Superintendent Blake for working on these. I wondered if you guys had any discussion about, like, are we imagining that there'll be some, I noted, that some of these things have to be presented by the staff and it's going to be trickling in at different times. But was there like a discussion about the how of evaluating each one? Like, are we just going to look at like what's presented this year? Is it something that's like, is it going to be comparative? Like we had, for example, let's look at the number 2B. So MIG training. So how many did we have last year versus this year? You know, that sort of thing. Like, were you thinking of like tracking things or like on a Google form? Or I just wondered if you guys had any conversation about the how it's going to be tracked.
May I?
Yes, go ahead.
So I think with that though, really with that particular question and that number 2, those are really examples of things that we can do to work as a governance team. And also you can work individually.
Right.
MIG is Masters in Governance training.
Right.
But if we, as a group, or if you individually decide you want to do those things, it would be continuing to educate yourselves. So that was what that was. More examples, not necessarily each one of those things.
And
Yeah,
I
I
think to
just-
be able to just be reflective. So, you know, when we do reflect upon these, let's say in our next May, we can reflect and say, like I could say, you know what, I did finish all the MIG training. Yes, I am working to kind of stay, you know, in touch. And I know you read the CSBA information like it's a really good novel, you know, and so you're you are staying up on things. So I think it's an opportunity for us to just, you know, reflect on how, as an individual, how we've grown to support the good of the cause.
Well, I really appreciate your work.
Thank you.
And just to chime in on the first one a little bit, what we are going to try and do is, you know, we have our new system for cameras, and we want to get some camera usage data. So we're going to be doing that. And you mentioned it yourself. We're going to get that data from our staff. The group will decide when they'd like to see that, but we can, in an uncomplicated way, figure out what makes sense. For instance, if we drop down to just the letter D for a minute, technology use, one of the things we would like to see is, now that we are limiting usage in our lower grades, what does that look like in reality? So, but we've got to wait a little while to get that data. So that's what we're working on, I think, as a group.
Thank you.
And I think number 3 is pretty specific. We all agreed that, you know, we really need to get more parents involved, you know, from all backgrounds. And how do we do that? Well, you know, if they have kids at home, that's just really, really hard. So one thing that we know that we can do is to provide childcare, whether that could be through our CTE program at PV. And then looking at the data over time, by providing this, are we increasing the parent participation? And if not, is there something else we can do to increase parent participation? Yeah.
So really, if you're comfortable, you can make a motion to approve these as your goals for this year. If you'd like to wait and do it at another meeting, you can do that too.
I would like to wait just so that we can, I like the direction these are going. I really like the idea of the board creating structures to hold itself accountable and know the direction it wants to grow in. I'd like maybe some of the ones under number 1, especially, to be a little more quantifiable, so we know what we're actually looking for. And I'd like maybe one more meeting, just kind of sit with it, think about the language and what those metrics might look like, run some things by staff.
That was what I was trying to say, like the how of it, like, do we see this as like maybe a Google form where it's like never to almost always or always, you know, like, is it going to be a scale? Like when it says like facilities, like what do we mean by that and that sort of thing? So yeah, I
This is a great starting place, and I really appreciate your
Yeah.
work putting this together, Vice President Olson.
Mhm.
But yeah, now that we have it officially, I think it makes sense for us to sit with it a little bit.
So I do want to ask a question. How are we going to do that? I mean, what process do you see in terms of getting that information onto this piece of paper? Or that, because we've, you understand what I'm asking. So I don't know
I do.
exactly how we want to do that. I don't know if it's one person communicating with me and I relay it, or how do we want to make sure we do this, without, we want to do it correctly in terms of Brown Act and things like that. We don't need to, we're just trying to do the right thing. So we don't want to get in trouble for doing the right thing. So I'm just asking questions.
Right. And that's why I was asking you guys, did you discuss that? Did you discuss what would this look like if we were tracking it? Like, if we're collecting data, what would this look like? Like, we can certainly, the camera usage data, that's going to be something that you're going to be able to, that your staff is going to be able to provide. So, I mean, that's something that's going to be forthcoming. LCAP, that's going, those are already being scheduled. And I maybe how many members of the board attended LCAP? I don't know. I'm just saying, those are the questions that were in my mind. Like, what is this going to look like as quantifiable data if we're going through, or are we interested in quantifiable data? I'm hearing Tom say yes. And so that's all that I was thinking of. I think the technology use data would be incredibly interesting to get. Like, how are teachers using it? How are board games being incorporated? You know what I'm saying? It's like technology and then the alternative, and I don't know. And then I'm just not sure, like, so the safe and appropriate for facilities. I think the bathroom updates are an incredibly, like we can say, that happened this school year. I mean, it wasn't done last school year, so it was like so that's very quantifiable. I just don't know how, if we had an intention of tracking it for our purposes when we're looking back and doing our self-evaluation, or we're just saying these are things that are in the back of our mind. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just not thinking of a great way to be able for you to get that information. So, I think what we'll do is this, especially Tisha and Tom, you were talking about it. As you digest this over the course of time here for a little while, when you have some thoughts, and let's email them to me, and then I can work with Gail and we can try to massage them into this document in some way to kind of put some bullets underneath these things to determine how we might.
Yeah. I'm curious, Gail and Tom, did you guys use Google Forms very often?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I just see the potential for this to be something that's like, you just go click, 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 and then it assemble, like, for each of us, if you had 5 people inputting, then it assembles the data and it shows you, it gives you little charts. And I just think that would be that could be a cool way. And I don't mind helping, or I don't know. I would be happy to, like, fool around with it and say, maybe it could look like this, or maybe Gail, since you used it frequently too, with that in your mind, like, how could you see this?
As far as looking at this data, I think because go ahead, as far as looking at the data using a Google form?
Yes. So, for example, for camera usage data, so you could document on the form the dates that, this was presented to the board, this was, I have in my mind's eye what might work, but anyway.
I think we know that we would need presentations on each of these, and we already get, LCAP. There's already staff and student survey results out there. The technology use data, we'll be getting information shared in our board meetings as a way to gather information. I'm just not visualizing how that could look on a Google form.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, would you guys like me to create a Google form so that you can see what I'm envisioning?
I appreciate that you're looking at me, but really it's the board's decision. So, I mean, this is not a Greg decision. So I'm
You
gonna
can
defer
create
a
a
little bit.
Google form and share it with Greg, and then Greg can share it with us.
Okay, perfect.
So that we can
yeah.
see what that looks like.
That works.
Yeah.
Or I would be happy to sit down and work with you and say, like, because I'll tell you, I created a Google form for the care of my dad, and my sisters were like, this is so cool. Where'd you learn this? And I'm like, I was a teacher. But you probably have used it maybe perhaps more than I did. I don't know. And
Oh, yeah. I've used it a lot. I just I can't visualize what it would look like with this information
Okay.
in a Google form. I visualize a presentation and hearing the information and getting the data from a presentation to determine movement in either the right or the wrong way.
Okay.
But that's me, you know.
Well, I'll tell you what, for options, if you would like to work with me and you can show me what you got going on and I can share it with the group and we can go from there.
Sounds good.
All right. All right, cool. So for now, I think we'll bring it back to
So it
a
sounds like
future
we're gonna
agenda, maybe September or so.
Okay. I believe we still need to offer, if there's any public comment on this. Okay. All right. So we're going to put that on hold for a future meeting. Excuse me. Okay. This time we're moving on to another discussion action item, approval of the revised updated new board policies presented by Greg Blake.
Well, you've had a chance to look at these, and so we are in a situation now where we can ask any final questions, and if we can answer them for you. Otherwise, I think we're ready. It's up to you.
Any questions?
Oh,
Yes.
I'm gonna have, I'm the tech person over here that that has no idea what you guys do and talk about, but I do have questions. On the, I'm sorry. Board policies. There we go. Okay. For those of you that have no idea what school board members do with their weekends, this is one group of changes to board bylaws and they are, can you hear me? They are important because this is what builds our ARs and the things that we function from and adhere to. And so it's important that we understand what we're approving when we bring these to us. I have marked a couple of places just for clarification. I don't feel a need to change anything, but on board bylaw 9011, page 1 of 5, and it's talking about disclosure of confidential privileged information. This is usually our closed session processes. And one of the things that I have in my notes here is if we take notes during our closed session, do those notes become part of what can be requested by the Public Information Act? So that's because, and I'm going back to past history here for myself, where we were cautioned in closed session not to put stuff down, because once you make a note, it becomes something that can be asked for. Am I remembering that restriction?
I don't know what you were told in the past, and honestly, Eileen, I think I know what the answer is in my head, but I don't want to tell you what that is because I don't know if it's exactly right. And so I want to give you a nice thorough answer, and I don't have one for you right now.
The, my suggestion would be that we run that question by,
That's the plan. Legal counsel.
Huh?
Legal counsel.
yes.
Yes. Well, that's what's in my head right now, just to be sure, because I don't want to say something right now and be partially right or.
That was, the CPRA is, what I was, told we would have a problem with.
Thank you.
If we put closed session stuff down on the, and if we could get clarification from our legal counsel. The next is on page 2 of 5 of this same bylaw is 1, 2, and 3 of in the top of that page. 3 says censure or other disciplinary action provided the board member has received training or been informed of the requirements of this bylaw. When I became a board member, it was a while before I got trained on things like what's mentioned in number 3. So does not having been through training as a new board member or board member at all mean that that I can't be censured? And this is, I'm asking for just clarification because that's what it says. Provided the board member has received training or been informed of the requirements of this bylaw. So that's a caution.
Yes.
To make sure that board members get that training. I was probably 5 years on the board before anything like that was before me. Okay, next. Bylaw 9320. We just had, and this is study sessions, retreats, public forums, and discussion meetings. We were just talking amongst ourselves about study sessions on issues that had been brought to us by, our group. And it says, regardless of the title or topic, shall be held as a regular or special board meeting as appropriate and shall comply with all other requirements. So is this language that permits us to do a work group you know, and come back to that issue because we've asked to have those goals brought back to us. Is that language that permits us to do that in some form other than the current two people, or, you know, just looking at interpreting that study sessions, public forums and discussion meetings to make sure that we can't, can use that language to do what we need to do with clarifying those goals. That was, I saw that.
So may I,
Yeah.
I wanted to draw attention to that in the other gatherings, if you go down to number 6. So an open and notice meeting of a standing committee of the board established pursuant to board bylaw 9130, board committees, provided that the board members who are not members of the standing committee
Right.
attend only as observers. And so that's what I was referencing, and what I was thinking is like, again, I don't know what the facility, it's called the facilities committee, right? That's, yeah, Eileen and I serve on the facilities committee, which I think is a standing committee. And my point is that when I was reviewing this bylaw, it occurred to me, like, Tom was very interested in facilities, but he also didn't know that if he had enough time to make every meeting. But since it's a standing committee, if he had time in his schedule and there was a facilities meeting that he could come to, there would be nothing prohibiting him from coming as long as he didn't participate. Like, he would be there simply as an observer. So if you had 5 board members that were interested in a topic, as long as you have just your 2 members that are actually participating in the standing committee, then any board member could come because they want to be more informed.
I don't
And this
disagree.
this allows that. And I think that, okay, that was my only point.
Does that answer her question?
I think, does it answer your question? Okay.
That
Okay.
is exactly what
Okay.
I
Done.
was
Thank you.
asking.
Yep.
Are you all done?
Did you have any
I'm-
other?
That was my question about using that language to work on stuff.
It allows us to.
It
Yes.
allows 2 people to work on stuff and 3 people to sit and observe, but it doesn't allow us all to participate.
That's correct.
Yeah. So.
But I thought-
Right, but I think, I'm just thinking of Tom, if he came to a facilities meeting, I think he'd find it interesting. And he wouldn't have to be participating in order to get, I think, valuable information.
Right,
I
no,
would think so.
I agree. I thought Eileen was talking about using this situation as a way to work on, for example, our goals, the board goals. No? Okay.
Tisha has it right. The next bit of language that I didn't know we had is the same bylaw, page 4 of 12, number 8, location of meetings, number 8. It says attend conferences and non-adversarial collective bargaining techniques, which is interest-based bargaining, and there had been some question about, as we transition with new board members, do we want to take those board members through the non-adversarial collective bargaining techniques? This mentions it, authorizes it. It's something that, may be of great value to us as our members change. Again, food for thought.
This language that you're referring to is only about when we can meet outside of the district boundaries. So that's just saying we could go visit, say, a conference or a, advisor of some sort outside of the boundaries.
Well, that whole section was about being outside of the boundaries. It didn't look to me like 8 was. Yeah, it's kind of hard when it seems to openly state one thing when it's included in whole section on something different.
So the way I read this, and I'm not saying that I read it correctly, the way I read this is that all meetings are to be held within district boundaries.
Right.
And with these exceptions, which there's 10 of them. And one of those exceptions is if we wanted to have a board meeting, call it a board meeting. And let's say that BCOE was hosting it, but it's at the Oroville main office. We could still do that because we would be attending a conference for IBB. And so it wouldn't prohibit us from doing that. And it could still be called a board meeting. It could be posted publicly and all members could participate, board members could participate. And I think what I'm hearing you say is that as you're transitioning off the board and there's going to be new board members, it may be prudent to think of that, even if it's not being held in our district boundary.
Yes.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yes. When you go through reading the proposed bylaws, one of the things that I noticed was I wasn't aware that we could already do a lot of things that are in these proposed bylaws. And so bringing them forward and taking note of the fact that they exist is my way of saying, hey, fellow board members, don't forget that this exists and you can do it. It's like the, I'm not going to go completely back through all of that. It is something that the board chair can do when members of the public are wishing to be heard. Again, there's a lot in these bylaws. So don't forget that. Board members, new board members. It's a working document. It's a live document. And if we don't use it as a live document to govern, what we do and how we conduct our business, why bother, on a whole weekend going through all of this stuff and highlighting and referencing the stuff. It's important. So I'm done.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Any public comment?
You all read these, right? Before the meeting?
Okay, are we feeling like we're ready to vote on this evening? Okay. Is there a board member that would like to make a motion?
I move approval of the new board policies as presented.
I'll second that.
I'm sorry, they're bylaws.
And policies. They're both.
They're both.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Motion by member Robinson, a second by President Conkin. Any further discussion? All right, let's go ahead and vote together. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, this passes. Okay, we are moving along. Okay, this is also discussion, action. This is the time when board members have requested to agendize a discussion regarding Chico Unified School District partnering with Pleasant Valley High School and Chico High School, their sports boosters for funding both their athletic trainers. And myself, along with Olson, we both had the similar idea to request this to be on a future agenda. Would you like to say anything at this time or explain your thoughts?
Well, as was presented, and it's true that athletic trainers are critical in keeping our athletes healthy and in school. So, which, affects our ADA if you're on an athletic team and if you're involved in any extracurricular, but this is particular to athletics. It is socially and emotionally just a wonderful thing to have. The sports boosters at both high schools have done an amazing job over the years. And I was, had an athlete going through the schools and as do you. And so, we know the time and effort that it takes, but they've just done a really amazing job. And they're trying to, I don't know, they have gone to the community again and again and again, and the community is really only so big. And so, and they bear a lot of financial burden for things that, maybe even were unforeseen, oh, now we need to find $60,000 for, these mats that got all moldy and just all of this. So if the district can help, their request was if the district can help with helping to provide support for the athletic trainer, then that, they reached out for that. And I just feel like that would be a worthwhile thing for the district to do.
Likewise, and we had the opportunity to hear from members of our community at our last special, it was a special meeting, correct? Board meeting, or was that
It
a
was-
regular board?
yeah.
Regular board meeting, sorry. And I believe Gail and I have both met with members of the community and heard their concerns, or not concerns, but their desire to partner with Chico Unified and collaborate in sharing some of the financial load of that. So I think this would be a worthwhile item to, not to say that tonight we're making any decisions, but just an opportunity for us to
Discuss it
further.
in the future. Yeah.
Any questions? Any public comment? Actually, do we have a public comment? Next one, I'm sorry. Okay. So at this time, is there a board member that would like to make a motion?
Well, I would like to make a motion to approve.
I'd like
to
to
agendize this on a future agenda for discussion.
Okay, awesome. We have a motion by Vice President Olson and a second by Member Robinson. Any further discussion? Right, let's go ahead and vote. All those in favor of putting this on future agenda?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. This passes. Okay, and then, let's see, we also have another board member who requested to agendize discussion action. This is regarding creating a standing committee for technology and AI policy that includes community members, staff, administration, and board. Would you like to speak about this?
Yeah.
Mr.
Very briefly, because again, we can't, get into substantive debate. This is just a discussion about whether we want to have the discussion later on. That said, there's been a lot of talk in the community about how specifically we use AI with regards to our security. We've answered a lot of that, but it's raised a lot of concern, I think, within the community about what the use of technology looks like in our schools. I don't know whether the language standing committee is appropriate or really want to say it's a work group. I just want to get a bunch of people together with multiple different viewpoints. We've looked at, I mean, I know some members of the board are aware of various potential CSBA policies coming down about AI. So I think now is a really good time for us to say, hey, what, as a whole community, do we actually want? How do we want to address AI? Do we want, a work group to look at, and not just AI, but there's always going to be some new fancy technology that we're going to need to get ahead of, hopefully in the future, and make a decision about what that looks like for all of our schools. So with that, I think it makes sense that we have a community that is not just board and district office staff to make recommendations, who can really dive deep into technology research policy, who are interested in that and excited about getting into that research, and then bring us recommendations for updating our policies.
Would this also potentially include just sort of as we're redefining how we want to use technology in the classroom in regards to policy and what we talked about tonight? I mean, we made the move to hopefully
Limit.
not send home Chromebooks, but maybe just a working movement towards
Yeah, that's my
even
vision.
potentially.
That's my vision.
Okay,
Yes,
awesome.
absolutely.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a huge, there's all sorts of topics that it could
Figuring out what
encompass.
that's going to look like will be, I think, a very kind of meaty item on an agenda should this get approved.
Yeah. I like it. Do you believe we have a public, were there any further questions from the board before we hear from the public? Right, we do have a speaker. Oh boy, where did I put my little list here? Okay, Gina Bax. Come on up.
Good evening. Thanks for the opportunity to speak. I'm here tonight to speak in support of agenda item 10B. First, I want to thank trustee Tom Lando for requesting that this discussion be placed on a future agenda within the next 3 months. It is my understanding, hopefully less. As we all know, artificial intelligence and new technology are moving incredibly fast. These tools can offer wonderful opportunities for education, but they also raise serious questions about student privacy, data collection, safety, transparency, academic integrity, parental rights, and how technology is selected and used in our schools. So I believe the creation of this standing committee for technology and hopefully the development of an AI policy is not only a good idea, it is something our district definitely needs. But I have one very important request. If this committee is created, parents and responsible caregivers of Chico Unified School District children must have a meaningful seat at the table. And when I say a seat at the table, I don't mean simply allowing parents to attend meetings or give 3 minutes of public comment. I mean actual participation in the committee, an opportunity to ask questions, review information, make recommendations, and have a voice and a vote in the decisions and recommendations coming from that committee. Parents are the primary advocates for their children. When technology affects our children's education, privacy, safety, personal information, or daily experience at schools, parents should be part of the conversation before decisions are made, not after. I would also encourage the board to make this committee as transparent as possible. Parents should be able to understand what technologies the districts are considering, what information those technologies collect, how students' data is protected, what AI capabilities are being used, and what safeguards are in place. Technology will continue to change, AI will continue to change. Our policy must be able to keep up. This committee gives Chico Unify an opportunity to do this responsibly and collaboratively. I practice that word a lot. With educators, administrators, board members, technology professionals, and the families whose children are ultimately affected by these decisions. So again, thank you, Trustee Lando, for bringing this forward. And I respectfully ask the entire board to support the creation of this committee and to ensure that parents and responsible caregivers, again, have meaningful representation, participation, a voice, and a vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Any further comment from the public? Okay. All right. Is there a member who would like to make a motion regarding this? I will. We have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion by President Conkin, second by Member Hayes. Let's go ahead and, if there's not any further discussion, we'll go ahead and vote. Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, this passes. All right, we are moving along to our final item. That's adjournment. Our next regular board meeting will be Wednesday, September 23rd. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I motion to adjourn this meeting.
No, we're
I'll
not.
second.
Motion by Member Hayes, second by Vice President Olson. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, this is adjourned.
Thank you all very much.
Yes, thank you.